Okay, so again, welcome Tara Paper Girl, welcome Sander. Since I have to flip the camera around once I get up to the board, I won't be able to see who's popping on. But I do want to thank each and every person that is joining on at this time. Jerry Tatum, thank you for joining on. Please share this video blog. Please tag somebody on this video blog. Please invite someone to get some financial education regarding how your taxes could be better when you have a home-based business versus when you don't. And so since I am a single mom, I'm going to talk and show the advantage or vantage point of a single parent that has a dependent, one dependent, that one that has a business versus one that does not have a business. Thanks for joining on, Joanna, Marvelous, and Demita. So I will get started. I'm gonna let Facebook do its thing and build up the audience. And I'm very excited to be sharing this information with you guys. Okay, scenario. Let's see, okay. So this is a made-up scenario. We're going to talk about a single mom, one that does have a home-based business and one that does not have a home-based business. The scenario will be the single parent makes $45,000 a year. They have one dependent under the age of 17. They paid federal taxes, withholdings. I'll write it all out on the board and go step by step. So I'm going to do the scenario side by side so you can see the difference between the two and how having a home-based business will lower you from being in the highest tax bracket as a W-2 earner. A W-2 earner is in the 28 to 33% tax bracket. By you acquiring a home-based business, it puts you in a lower tax bracket of 18 to 23% immediately as well. So what we're going to show also is that, you know, we all have the same two financial objectives that we have to face, which we have to worry about our current lifestyle as well as our future lifestyle. So of course our current lifestyle is funded by our labor. Every day we get up, we go to work, whatever, 40 hours a week, 80 hours every 2 weeks or more, and we get a paycheck every 2 weeks, or if you're a teacher or educator, once a month. But your taxes, you're getting killed in taxes. As a W-2 earner, you are in the highest tax bracket, and if that is your only source of income, a third of your paycheck is being taken by taxes off the top. So this scenario is going to be for those you can see when you go file your taxes. This is the difference between having a business versus not. So single mom without HBG. Single mom with So I say she makes $45,000 a year. In wages as a W-2. She also pays federal taxes, so $4,500 in withholdings. Okay. She also has one dependent under the age of 17. And then, okay, so she has one dependent under the age of 17. So she qualifies for the child tax credit of $2,000. Okay, so we're going to, number one, when you, in this scenario, because you have a single mom with one dependent, the filing status will be head of household. There are 5 total filing statuses, which number 1 is single, number 2 is head of household, number 3 is married filing jointly, number 4 is married filing separately, and number 5 is qualifying widow with dependent. And a qualifying widow with dependent, what qualifies that person, they can still file. Married filing jointly is like if the spouse died this year in 2018, they have up to 2 years after the death of the spouse to file, and they can still file married filing jointly, or they can file qualifying widow with a dependent. And after the 2 years has passed, then they're either going to file head of household if they still have a dependent under the age of 17, or they will end up filing single. Grab another marker. Okay. Alright, so, and the head of household standard deduction is $18,000. So, $45,000, standard deduction, $18,000. It's $27. And we are going to assume the tax is 10% because I don't know, so we're just going to make an assumption for this scenario sake that it's a 10% tax. So right here we have your wages, W-2 wages, right? Of $45,000. We have a standard deduction of $18,000, and your adjustable gross income is $27,000. The assumed 10% tax liability will be $2,700 off of this scenario, single mom without a home-based business. Okay, so there are only 2 types of credits when you do taxes, and that's refundable and non-refundable. So since she has one dependent, which each child you get up to $2,000 child tax credit. So that $2,000 is broken down into non-refundable and refundable. So the non-refundable is $600 and the refundable is $1,400. Hey man. And your non-refundable reduces your tax liability. So the $600 that you see, what are you doing? What are you doing, big head? So the $600 that you have, hey, what's the problem? Relax. What? Okay, so the $600 of non-refundable you're going to use to reduce your tax liability. That's going to leave you with still a balance of $2,100. So your refund of $1,400 will be applied to reduce that some more. Still leaves you with a balance of $700. So you pay $4,500 in withholdings, which is a credit. It's going to be a credit. So you got $4,500 and you still have $700 that you have to get rid of. So you have to zero it out. Hey. So if the person qualifies for, what's the matter? If the person qualifies for earned income credit, right now the refund is going to be $3,800 for a single mom without a business. So now I'm going to change colors and do the scenario on the other side, what it would look like if you had a home-based business. Switching. Hey, what is the problem? What's the problem? Why don't you pass fire up? Thank you. I don't like this one. And markers and all that great. Relax, man. Hey, relax. Okay, I'm gonna have to put you down if you don't keep being fussy. What? Okay. Oh, all right. Okay. Yeah. Shoot. Hold on, y'all. Why you keep spitting it out? You know what? Maybe you're hungry. Okay, so 45,000 with W-2. So let's just say you made an additional, we're gonna be conservative. Let's just say that you earned an additional $10,000 in income for in your business. All right, and with the business, when you earn income, self-employed, basically, business, the tax is 15.3%, and half of that is assumed by the person that gave you a 1099, and then you are responsible for the other half on that tax. So what I'll end up doing is multiplying the 10,000 times 15.3% and then divide that number by 2. All right, it's gone, brother. It's gone. It's gone. It's gone. Okay. So over here you got, and then on the 45,000, we're going to assume another 10% on tax for that. So that gives you 4,500 and 15.3 be 1530. 1530, divide that by 2. 14, 13, 6, 12, 12, and then 10. Stop spitting it out. 5. So that'll be $765 taxes off the 45 and then off the 1099 right here. So that gives you 5,265 tax liability. Okay, so make sure use my sheets. Alrighty, so okay, so less adjustments, right? We're gonna reduce the in the less adjustments. So let's say in your business for the year, let's say you wrote off $25,000 of business expenses, which is very easy to do if you're keeping good records for a full year. We can write off a lot more than that, but we're just gonna keep the numbers conservative, right? So. Now, we're at $30,000. We're going to take the filing status. This is head of household, one dependent, $18,000. Standard deduction. Oh, you know what? What's wrong? 12,000. So, I took the 10% too early. So the 10% is actually going to be off your adjustable gross income, which is $12,000. So 10% of 12,000 is 1,200. So change this. Okay, so now your tax liability is actually $1,965. So my bad. I had to do all this to get down to the adjustable gross income, then take the 10%, the assumed 10% tax of the adjustable gross income, which is $1,200. The tax for the $10,000 business income is $765. So that gives you a total tax liability of $1,965. So we have one dependent, so you get $2,000 child tax credit. So of that $2,000, I'm sorry, $600 is non-refundable. Your non-refundable credit goes to reduce your tax liability. So you're gonna reduce this by 600, which gives you a remaining of $1,365. So you have credit on the refundable part of your child tax credit of $1,400. So we're going to take the remaining tax liability that we owe from the $1,400, and you'll still have a small credit left. 5, 9, so $35. So now we're going to do our credits. So we $4,500 was the withholdings off the W-2. And then plus the $35, which was what was left after the refund of the child tax credit. I don't know why I'm struggling to say that today. So that gives you $4,535 plus EIC if they qualify for it, versus $3,800 plus EIC if they qualify for the earned income credit. So just to, I hate the way that's smudged up. So just so you can see, this is just a basic scenario of how your business deductions, depend on how good of records you keep each year, you can write off a whole lot more than that every year. As we always say, it's not about how much money you make, it's about how much of your money can you keep. So in the first scenario I did earlier, I showed you how one that didn't have a business overpays in taxes. And we were conservative and said $200. But many people pay way more than $200 a month in overpayment of taxes. If you're just a W-2 earner, you don't have a home-based business, the government takes 1/3 of your paycheck. So if you want to know what that looks like, let's just conservatively say that a person makes $100,000 a year, right? So 1/3 of that, before you pay any bills, before you do it, have any money accessible to you, you're gonna, make $70,000 after taxes. That's a lot of your money. The numbers of course change as you make less money or what have you, but it's easy to compound when you just do zeros. So $100,000, 30%, $30,000 of your money goes to taxes off the top. That's a lot of money that you're losing just in taxes, federal taxes alone. So, you tell me if this was what you were making, you didn't have a business versus you do have a business. Which one would you rather have? Would you rather have more money to keep in your pocket and not be paying taxes or overpaying in taxes without having a business? You're in the 28 to 33% tax bracket without a business. Or over here, and I'll write that down. Over here, you're in the 18 to 23% tax bracket. We'll just abbreviate TB for tax bracket. See, he done fell asleep, y'all. All that fussing because he didn't want to go to sleep. But you tell me what makes more sense financially. If you are stuck in that rat race of how am I going to get out of debt? How am I going to make my money stretch as long as the month? Because right now my paycheck, I get paid on Friday and it's gone by Tuesday. This is how you do it. You can't, federal taxes, you're going to pay them. They're going to take them. But you can control and decide not to allow them to take all your money and reduce how much they take and keep that money and start to pay off your debt and start to have an investment account and begin to build a mini emergency fund so that you have access to $3,000 when an inconvenience takes place, such as maybe you need new tires on your car. Maybe you have to get a new transmission. Maybe you need new brakes and rotors. Maybe you need axle tire rods. Maybe you need a tune-up and a wheel alignment. 70% of Americans don't have access to $3,000, a mini emergency fund. That's not a good sign. That means this education that we're doing and that we're teaching is greatly needed everywhere, every culture, every race, because people are struggling. And they're tired of struggling. They want a solution. This is the solution. If you don't have a home-based business, if you don't have the financial education, you don't have the understanding on how to make your money, give birth and have babies, and get your money working for you so you don't have to keep working for it. Because one of the things, one day you're going to quit. You're going to decide I'm tired of working, or your body going to shut down physically and tell you you're not able to work no more. So either way it goes, you need to put yourself in a position where your money is making money for you while you sleep. You're not getting up, clocking in to go to work to make the money, but your money is making money for you because it is outpacing inflation and it is growing at a double-digit rate of return. If this made sense to you, simple to grasp and understand that you need a home-based business. Nowhere else can you start a home-based business for $12.95. Because that's the special I'm offering the first 5 people who get in touch with me today. It expires at 11:59 Eastern Standard Time. You don't have to get a brick and mortar business. You don't have to get an LLC. You don't have to type up this business plan and proposal and do all these things to get in business, to start a business, and learn about money. Stop being scared about what you don't know. Stop being afraid to take a chance and invest in you. Stop being afraid about what people are going to say, about what people are going to think. Because you know your financial situation better than anybody. How long has it been on life support? And you've been trying to figure out a solution to your financial cash flow shortage. We teach this every day. I got a bachelor's degree from Louisiana Tech University. I got a master's degree from Missouri Baptist University. They didn't teach me any of this stuff I've been teaching y'all in school. And I paid 5 times the amount of money for my college education than I did to start my business. What's holding you back? What are you afraid of? Are you afraid of success? Are you afraid that doing something that you've never done, that you've never been taught to do, that you never thought about doing, it doesn't even make sense to you about doing, that it actually might work? Or are you just so comfortable in your struggle? You're so comfortable in your finances and cash flow being short, that you would rather continue to remain there because it's comfortable. Well, nothing changes until you change. Nothing changes until you change. If you can't change your mindset, you're not willing to take action to change and learn what you don't know, because what you don't know is costing you a lot of money. Your credit is bad because you don't have enough cash flow, because your debt utilization, credit utilization is above 35%, because nobody taught you how not to apply for a credit card when you was in college, and you know you didn't have no money because you didn't have no job, but they approved you, probably gave you a $2,000 limit. Because the scam, the brainwashing, the advertisement of interest is the penalty you pay in advance for something you can't afford. We live in a capitalistic society that pushes and teaches you to spend money that you don't have, to impress people that don't care about you no way. So, I want to thank you guys again for tuning in to the Record Report. I hope that you learned something today. I hope that you value the information and the content that you're getting for free on this Facebook Live video. If you're watching this on the replay, make sure that you #replay. If you're watching this live, type in the comments city and state which you're tuning in from. If you are watching the Record Report for the very first time, please type a number 1 in the comments, and please do come back again. I want to encourage you to get your money up, because you absolutely can, and you absolutely deserve to do just that. And remember to leverage your job the same way that they leverage you. Thank you for tuning in, Dee, Aaron, Garnett, Brandon, Michael Chambers, Drick Evans, Tony Rice, Juan Adams, Edward Jones, Gary, Pettit Door, Shamika, Herb. Thank you guys for tuning in. V, Kelly, Conan, Nicole, Chandra, Angela, Marquitas, I think I'm saying that right, John, Slam, Stroza, Marvin, Leetria, James, Reese, Iris, Carla, Reginald, Felicia. All right. Have a great day, you guys.